I dreamt last night the moon was so bright it melted the walls away. And it wasn't alarming when I saw Prince Charming come into my bedroom and say,
Airstream presents Building Dreams is Our Business. North, south, east, west. Wherever you want to go, your travel dreams come true with an Airstream. Construction makes the difference. Every Airstream feature is travel engineered and travel tested. If your dream is to wander through the byways, your Airstream will go anywhere you can take your car. If you want to travel abroad, comfortably and economically, your Airstream goes with you easily. Building the dream of a travel trailer starts with the all-steel, all-welded Airstream chassis, scientifically engineered for maximum strength-to-weight ratio. Roads like this one in Africa cannot twist an Airstream chassis out of shape. And most important, the entire length of your Airstream is supported on the chassis. Even the back bumper is a part of the welded frame. Airstream's unique Duratorque axle was field tested on the Africa Caravan. With no springs to break and 7 inches of increased road clearance, the Duratorque makes all previous forms of travel trailer suspension obsolete. This rubber cord is a basic part of the Duratorque axle. Every batch of rubber is analyzed on a durometer tester to determine its pre-flexing equilibrium point. Durometer ratings are matched to the load rating of the axle. When Airstream introduced the Duratorque axle in 1961, special machinery had to be built. For example, this machine in one operation stamps 5 holes in the brake flange of the spindle forging. And this machine inserts the inner metal and spindle into each end of the crank arm, assuring a precise degree of toe-in and camber. The rubber cords are compressed and molded in a press, operated at 120 degrees below zero. Refrigerated alcohol circulating through the platens on this press freezes the rubber to half size and triangular shape, so it will fit in the corners of the outer metal. The rubber is placed around the crank arm and the complete assembly is inserted into the square tube. In 1 minute, the rubber has thawed, and it is quite impossible to remove the crank arm. All axle movement is cushioned in rubber. There is no metal-to-metal contact, as you can see, in this color-coded cross-section. The rubber cords are yellow, the steel bar is red, and the outer tube is white. Tandem Duratorque units have an added bonus. A flat tire is easily removed by loosening the lug nuts and placing a 4-inch block under the other wheel. When raised by the remaining wheel, the wheel with the flat spins freely. Because of the independent suspension of the Duratorque axle, it is possible to drive to the next service station on only 3 wheels. In addition to the smoother ride of the Duratorque, this axle has 148 fewer parts than conventional spring axle combinations. As the tapered roller bearings are fitted, you can see the brake installation. Your Airstream comes equipped with hydraulic or electric brakes, or on tandem axles, a combination of both. In the cross beams, you will notice the flange perforations that lighten yet strengthen the chassis. Wheels and tires are top quality, matched for thousands of carefree miles. The fold-away step is welded directly to the chassis. It is always right where you need it. It is self-storing, easy to operate. Like everything in an Airstream, it is the best of its kind, put together to stay that way. Even when it doesn't show, Airstream does things right. Every chassis gets a coat of paint. Here then is the Airstream chassis with flange perforated beams, equipped with Airstream's new Duratorque axle, aircraft light, cantilever bridge strong. To test chassis, we called on Big Babe, famous motion picture elephant, who weighs 9,700 pounds, nearly 5 tons. As you know, an elephant won't get up on anything she doesn't think is safe and strong. But Babe never hesitated when she was asked to get up here. You can see that all her weight is easily supported by the steel frame and running gear. This chassis was taken right out of the production line. When it was built, no one knew it would be subjected to this unusual test. Babe would have been glad to pose indefinitely, but it was time to take this chassis back to be built into an Airstream that is on the road today. There's no doubt about the solid foundation under your dream trailer if it is an Airstream. Tacked down under the floor of every Airstream is a 2-inch layer of fiberglass insulation. When the floor is placed on the chassis, this insulation will stay in place year after year. This protection beneath the floor is vital when the weather gets cold. Here's another example of Airstream thoroughness, and again it is something you cannot see from the outside. Special car bolts are used to fasten the floor directly to the steel of the chassis. They are carefully spaced over the entire floor area. Underneath, each bolt is fitted with lock washers. The nut is run up, and the end of the bolt is sharply angled. Caravanners in Africa had to be their own road crews, but travel through frame-wrenching chuck holes cannot work loose a triple-tight Airstream floor. The Africa caravanners proved the point over and over again. The bottom or underbelly of an Airstream is as sleek and clean as the top. Most trailers have an exposed chassis. This all-aluminum underbelly is riveted to the chassis to give weather-tight protection underneath. It streamlines the bottom, minimizes wind resistance, and makes your Airstream easier to tow. When you consider that these Africa caravanners had traveled over 12,000 miles of impossible roads before reaching this point in the Sudan, the good condition of the underbelly of their Airstreams is amazing. On any long trip, you're bound to have all kinds of weather. This protective skin of aluminum underneath keeps out water, mud, sand, and dust. This is the soft aluminum used for the outside of most trailers. But Airstream uses a high tensile aircraft alloy aluminum, tough and flexile, of heavy load-bearing strength. One end, all riveted with the window in place, is rigid and strong enough to support a full-grown adult as he chins himself. The load-bearing quality of the aluminum, with only one pair of lightweight structural ribs, makes this possible. This same end is also enough for one man to pick up and carry away. Airstreams are built like airplanes, not like houses. They are designed to move, to travel. All the structural members for a 22-foot Airstream, ribs and door frame, can be balanced on one finger. Light, strong, riveted. The self-supported strain-stress body can be picked up and easily carried by 2 men. This is a graphic example of the load-bearing quality of the aluminum skin. Here the ribs are a part of the weight and support none of it. The special qualities of an Airstream body make it easy to handle even in this situation. And there is no doubt about its maneuverability, when a teenage girl can literally walk away with one. Airstream bodies are entirely riveted. It takes a 2-man team, riveter and bucker up, to put together each seam. The windows are riveted into place. They cannot work loose to cause leaks or get out of alignment, so they will not open properly. The body is riveted to an aluminum channel, bolted through floor and chassis. With this step, Airstream achieves firmly unitized construction. Shielded cable, protected by rubber grommets where wires pass through metal ribs. After the wiring is completed, every inch of the body is insulated with fire-resistant, vermin-proof, non-deteriorating AeroCore fiberglass. Airstreams are built from the outside in. All seams are sealed before the inner skin is riveted to the ribs. This aluminum interior will not warp, is easy to keep clean, will not absorb odors. The entire interior is sprayed with a handsome scrubbable finish before any woodwork is installed. From this point, each Airstream becomes an individual unit, but any size or interior design is available with all the self-containment features. Self-containment means that you are completely independent of outside connections. You can travel without a schedule. It doesn't matter where you are when you decide to stop. You can pull into any parking spot, and the next morning, the butane refrigerator will be keeping food fresh. You will be rested from a night in your own good bed, and you will have hot water under pressure for your morning shower or tub. Electricity for lights and small appliances is right with you. The roomy and complete bathroom can be cleaned up in a jiffy. Meals can be leisurely, comfortable, the way you want them. Everything is handy in the modern Airstream kitchen. This is the way to travel. Everything you could want for at home comfort, whether you're summering in the North Woods, wintering in Mexico, or exploring distant jungle lands. As an Airstream owner, you are automatically invited to the big rallies held every year. Hundreds and thousands of Airstreamers gather for days of events with something for everyone. There are bull sessions with old-timers and Airstream executives to talk about new developments and tips to make your traveling even easier. If you like water sports or just want to watch, the program will include activities like these, planned more on the basis of hearty participation than any required skill. The object here was a crew race. Inner tubes were the boats. Teams of 2 raced relay fashion to paddle twice across the pool. Spectators cheered both teams the same, enjoyed the spills most of all. In a more quiet vein, the ladies competed to see who could put together the most imaginative corsage, using items they happened to have with them. Most of the corsages ended up on the dinner table later. This game of touch football was the high spot of a rally with a university homecoming theme. The teams and officials really got quite a workout. The crowd yelled for everyone, including the water boy. And the halftime entertainment featured the most unusual marching band ever seen on any field. Getting into the act is a way to make new friends. Through the rallies and the local caravan clubs, Airstreamers find they are constantly meeting people. It is fun to know. With an Airstream, your friends come from everywhere, and you meet them often during a year-round program of trips and get-togethers. Everyone is invited to join the Airstream squares. If you don't know your do-si-do, someone will prompt you. An Airstream rally has built-in talent for a band, a caller, a master of ceremonies, anything. In the slow bicycle race, the winner must finish last. Sure to continue as a perennial favorite is the towing gymkhana. A huge crowd assembles to watch drivers negotiate a balloon-marked course. Both men and women compete in separate classes, each of them driving the same car and Airstream. Points are deducted for each balloon broken. Trickiest maneuver is backing into a slot. Contestants are disqualified if they jackknife. They must go back until a gun is fired to start them forward again. Winner crosses the finish line in the shortest time with the fewest balloon bursts. Every rally is planned around a central theme to coordinate decorations and events. Activities for the final day include a costume parade with prizes for those who best represent the motif of that rally. The Caravaner newspaper carries on the plan that can bring costumes with them. One year, the contestants wore old-fashioned outfits. Another time, everyone went international and turned out in their travel souvenirs. A hamburger roast, a potluck, or a chicken fry. Every rally has one big outdoor dinner, maybe several. There's always more than enough to go around. Before each rally is over, plans are made to meet at the next one. No one has more fun than an Airstreamer, especially at rally time. Want to travel the world? Wally Byam originated the caravans just for you. Every winter south of the border, the Wally Byam caravans visit a colorful foreign country. You stop in the little villages as well as the big cities, so you have a chance to see and photograph scenes like this local laundromat. Almost anywhere during the 6 weeks tour, you may run into a parade or fiesta. Often, the caravan is specially invited to attend a traditional event celebrating some historic date. You'll have time for visiting old colonial buildings, relics of the Spanish conquest. Travel is leisurely, so you can stop to watch the local people with their different customs. Wally started the caravans to encourage more adventurous trailer travel, to get you better acquainted with other nationalities, to help you make friends in many places. Caravanners really learn to know the countries they visit because they see the people in their daily routines. As a Wally Byam caravaner, you find that you're a particularly welcomed guest, with extra courtesies extended by our southern neighbors. Canada plays host in the summer, where the cool green campsites are delightful. In odd-numbered years, the Canada Caravan heads east to visit places like the Citadel in Quebec, where pomp and pageantry still exist. Fishing is wonderful, east or west. You will see Indians and events like the exhibition drill team of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. When the Canada Caravan tours west, you will enjoy the most magnificent scenery in the world. Then there are the special international caravans like this one, parked at Munich, Germany, during their 6-month European tour. Caravanners fed the pigeons in Venice, spent a day at the famous Roman ruins of Pompeii, drove this tunneled road through the French Alps, shopped for handmade lace in the quaint old city of Bruges, and enjoyed this campsite on the Mediterranean. Wally led a caravan through Africa, too. These intrepid caravanners went from Cape Town to Cairo, stopping along the way in native villages to see the local dances and ceremonies. Visiting the wild animal preserves, and being entertained in their caravan campsite by the famous giant Watutsi. When they finally reached the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, this caravan family dressed up for a camel ride. One of these Airstreams is for you. Whichever model you choose will have the same sturdy, welded, all-steel Aerostress chassis, the unique Duratorque axle with independent wheel suspension, the insulated and bolted floor, the smooth underbelly, the strong aluminum ribs, the all-riveted aircraft aluminum exterior, the best material for wiring and insulation. Because of its basic construction, every Airstream is a dream of a travel trailer. For lightness and maneuverability, with a zip and dash that makes it fun to go, you need an Airstream. Airstream will make your travel dreams come true, because building